Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. I am Jason in my parents' basement in the great state of Kansas. And we got Scott from the great state of Texas from Sound Lab Studios. And we got Nick from the great state of Pennsylvania from Townsend 505. Nick might be in the basement. I don't know.
I am. I'm also in my
Okay.
parents' basement of the great state of
Also your parents'
Pennsylvania.
basement. Parents' basements.
I'm in my apartment.
All right. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing amazing. Philadelphia had the worst sports day ever, and I'm loving
They
it.
did.
Phillies got knocked out, Eagles lost, and the Flyers had a bad opening night.
Can't believe
Wonderful
the
day.
Eagles. Oh my gosh.
Lost to the Giants. Scatterboo, baby. Scatterboo.
Philadelphia freedom.
That guy ran the ball. All right, so we're going through top 100 favorite albums according to lists that I made, Scott made, Nick made, and Adam made. So glad I got Scott and Nick here, so you guys can contribute with the facts and everything. We're getting to definitely more albums that we all are agreeing on, so we'll all have something to say on most of these albums, I think. We're still right around, we get to number 28 is when we're going to start getting three of us agreeing on the same album.
Okay.
Right now it's only 2 out of the 4 are have these, in their top 100. Interesting enough. So, but yeah, so I think you'll know these albums pretty well that we're getting to. But yeah, so we're ready for number 35 on the list. Me and Scott mostly have done 100 through 36. And I think Nick has been on one of our live streams.
I was on one of them. I think I was on the very first one.
First one. Yeah, I think on the first one. All right. So, and Scott and Nick have no idea what the list is, so they're hearing it.
That's what makes these videos fun, is that I have no idea what they're going to be.
Yeah. All right. So, number 35, we got Poems, Prayers, and Promises by John Denver. And this is because Nick had this at number 34 on his list, and I had it at number 13 on my list. So, and it was a top 10. The first list I made, it was actually my top 10, but it got knocked out of the top 10 in my second list, but still pretty high at number 13. Yeah, so this one, I don't know if Scott's familiar with this album, but
I've never heard the album, but I'll say this: Take Me Home Country Road is a great song, and I know that's on this album.
Yes, that's the big one. Poems, Prayers, and Promises, that song is amazing too. I think that's one of my favorite John Denver songs as well. I don't have the album in front of me. That's my only problem, is I don't have these albums because they're boxed up somewhere. I don't have them all in display. But I do know that, of course, yeah, like I said, Country Roads is the big one. That's the big one. I don't know if you remember any more, Nick, on that album.
Oh, I remember the album. You have, of course, you have the title track. I love the title track. I agree. You have an amazing version of Let It Be. I love that version of Let It Be.
Good Let It Be cover.
Gospel. I forgot the name of it completely. I know it's like Gospel Changes, I think is the name of the song.
Okay, that sounds right.
That's a good song. My 3 favorite songs from him are on this album. Country Roads, of course, is my favorite. I know that sounds basic, but
Sunshine on My Shoulders is on here.
Sunshine on My Shoulders, that's my second favorite song on the album. I was going to say that. And Guess He'd Rather Be in Colorado. That's my third favorite John Denver song. Those 3 songs, and what I love about it is that those are like back to back to back on the album. Yet, like, to me, his best 3 songs are on that album in nice, quick succession. Fire and Rain, I think that's the name of the song. That's also on there. I love that song, Fire and Rain.
Oh, wow. James Taylor cover?
So much. His version, I think his version is great. I mean, I don't. Yeah. They're both great for different reasons. This would be a top 10 album for me. There's one reason why it's not.
Yeah.
The freaking box.
The box.
I can't. It's not good. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It ruins an otherwise perfect album. I still will give it a 10 out of 10 because, kind of like Jason, I'm not going to let one singular track ruin an entire album's worth of masterpieces. If it wasn't for that, it would be like top 10 albums of all time for me, but Man, what a bummy way to end an otherwise perfect album.
I'm agreement with that. The album ends on a poem, not a song, but a poem by John. I mean, not by John Denver, but he's just reciting the poem. But it's very political, like, because John Denver was definitely like a political kind of environmentalist and anti-war political person. I don't know. It's kind of an anti-war, I think, kind of poem or something. It's a weird ending to the album, but Sunshine on My Shoulders, my favorite John Denver song of all time. I love that song so much. It's just so soothing, and it's just sunshine on my shoulders. Oh, it's so good.
Makes me happy.
Makes me happy. It's just a beautiful song. Country Roads is probably his biggest song of all time. Everybody knows that song. It's on the radio all the time. Great traveling song. The Colorado song, that's a great song too. It's my favorite John Denver album. It said it's got some big hitters, but even the cover songs are great. I think that's why I gave it a 10 out of 10, and why it's like one of my favorites, because like even the cover songs are just fantastic, I think, on the album anyway. So yeah, definitely if you don't know the album, definitely check that one out. Poems, Prayers, and Promises by John Denver. Came out in 1971, a huge year in music.
Oh yeah, big year for music.
Every year in the 70s is a big year for music.
But man, those early 70s, oh, so good. But anyways, all right, so we'll go to number 34. Number 34 on the list might seem a little low, maybe, but it's Moving Pictures by Rush.
Oh wow!
And Nick had this at 42. Do you know where you have it, Scott?
I know where I had it when I made my list, because I was trying to be edgy and cool, like
the
Beatles.
His favorite album at the time. I was so surprised. I'm like,
number
I thought
one.
it would be like Abbey Road.
It was just to shock everyone. That's like my second or third favorite album, but Abbey Road is still my favorite. Still in my top 5 favorite albums, though.
It's still impressive, but I was just so surprised at the time. I'm like, Moving Pictures. I'm like, hey, I'm glad it's it's so weird. It's interesting to have you're not your favorite band have
not a Beatles album, yeah.
No Beatles album. I was like, okay, that's a little bit of a cool, fresh start, but I was very surprised. So
that's all I did it for. Abbey Road is my favorite album. Moving Pictures is like number 3 or 4.
Well, it's number 1 according to this list for you. So, but number 34 overall, because of course your number 1 definitely moved it up quite a bit. And I didn't have it on my list. I like the album. I have the album. It has like 2 of my favorite Rush songs of all time. I mean, Tom Sawyer and Limelight. I mean, amazing songs, iconic, especially Tom Sawyer. I mean, that's like maybe the most played song on the radio. Tom Sawyer, the mean, whatever. Yeah, oh, it's so good. And then the guitar goes, it does it too. Bump, and the drumming. You have some great drum fill, Earl. Great. Limelight. I love Limelight just because it's great guitar playing as well. I mean, what can you say? But I love how it ends on the verse and then the drums like hits like 2 more times or something like that. It's just a cool way the verses end, I think. But you also have Red Bouchetta, which is a really, I don't know if it's an underrated song, but that's a really good song. That's like not as well known probably. That first side's like, to me, that's like a perfect side, because I think it has those 2. It has 2 hit songs, Red Bouchetta and XYZ or something like that.
Oh yeah, Tom Sawyer, Limelight, and then it has Red Bouchetta and YYZ on it.
Yeah, that's a great first side.
That's one of the best. That's one of the best first sides in music history. There.
Yeah, and XYZ or XYZ or whatever you want to call it is like probably one of the greatest like instrumental, I mean, just really great use of the. I think the drums is my favorite part of it, but man, the guitar part is great, and the bass part, everything. But man, Neil Peart really, I don't know, his drumming is so good on that.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big instrumental guy either, and that's pretty good. And then I'm not gonna remember the rest of the album because that's those are the 4 songs are like my favorite on the album. Is there Vital Signs? Is that one?
Yeah, that's the last song.
That's the last song. Something Lens, I think, is this one.
Oh, Camera Eye.
Camera Eye, that's it. Camera Eye. It's not a bad song. It's a little long. It's got some good stuff to it. And then I know the other song is the song I didn't like on the album, but so it's close to a top 100 album. It's very close. It's my second favorite Rush album so far. Should be my favorite album. I have to think about that.
I know you like Fly By Night though.
Yeah, Fly By Night. It was my favorite, but I don't know. I have to listen to that again and maybe reevaluate. But that's the way I felt. But I mean, most people. It's your favorite Rush album, Scott. How about you, Nick?
Oh, it's up there. It's definitely in my top 2 at least.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like it should be a top 2 for about most people.
I think, Nick, it's between that and what's the other? Permanent Waves. Yeah.
Yes. The 2 Kink songs.
Yeah. And their first 2 80s albums too. But this album is perfect. It's amazing. It has some of the greatest musicianship you're ever going to hear. All 3 of these dudes are just masters of their instruments. Geddy Lee on the bass and vocals and synthesizers. So he's a triple threat. Alex Lifeson on guitars and Neil Peart on the drums, most famously, and lyrics. So whenever when they get together, man, it's just so good. And of course, kicking off with Tom Sawyer, the greatest air drumming song of all time. Especially whenever you get right after the guitar solo, and it goes ba-da, da-da, ba-da, when it gets to that.
Incredible.
Great guitar riff. We already talked about that little synthesizer thing.
Yeah.
That song still sounds like it's from the future, and it's 40-something years old. That's how good it is. You got Red Barchetta, which is a really cool song that tells a story about some kind of apocalyptic future where cars are illegal or something like that. That's a really cool song. YYZ, probably the greatest instrumental in rock. Love the guitar on that. The bass is really good. The drums really good on that. Of course, Limelight, another one of their most famous songs, has a great guitar riff. Great lyrics too, talking about Neil Peart, kind of his experiences being famous and him being more of an introvert. Love that. And then second side, you got Camera Eye, really cool song contrasting New York and London with a cool guitar solo in it. And you got Witch Hunt. That's a creepy sounding song, but it's awesome. And then Vital Signs, amazing closer, kind of a reggae inspired thing, which is really cool.
Yeah. Famously, I made Nick upset when
he said it was forgettable.
Or forgettable, something like that. I'm like,
you made Nick go.
And Nick went to
and that was used in our intro video for a long time.
I didn't know what I did when I said that. I was like, oh no, I said something I shouldn't have. Evidently, people like that song, and I didn't hate it, but I was just like, yeah.
Well, you didn't like the song. You're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else you want to add, Nick? Or
no, I think Scott summed it up pretty well.
Okay. All right. Number 33, we got Led Zeppelin 2 from 1969 by Led Zeppelin, of course. Scott, you had it at number 24 on your list, and I had it at number 18 on my list. So we both had it somewhere kind of similar areas. Nick and Ab didn't have it on their list, but I don't remember. It was my second favorite Led Zeppelin album, and yeah, I'm real high on the album. Obviously, it's in my top 20. Um, I don't know. I like it way better than the first one and the third one. Obviously, fourth one we'll probably talk about in a bit. Um, and then House of Holy, of course, is also really great. But uh, this is just my opinion. You guys will have more to say about the other ones. But Led Zeppelin 2, man, just the amount of big hit songs on here that are just incredible. Starts off with my second favorite Led Zeppelin song and one of the greatest rock songs in my opinion, Whole Lot of Love. What a great way to start an album. It hits you with that guitar, that dun 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 dun, and as soon as you hear it, you're like, your head just wants to kind of do a headbang, like yeah, like give me that guitar, uh, and just like Whole Lot of Love, like I loved it ever since I was a kid and I heard that song. I always thought that was a cool song. It does have a weird middle part, but it gets back in with that guitar and that drum, and it gets right back in. I still love that, how it gets back in there. Again, I don't have the album in front of me, so now I'm trying to think what else is on there. I love
What Is and What Should Never Be. Heartbreaker, Thank You.
Heartbreaker, love Heartbreaker. Another top 10 like Led Zeppelin song for me. And I know we talked about this many times, but I love that guitar solo, one of my favorite. Just because it's just like isolated, just isolate the guitar, and it's just this. It's an interesting the way it's just an unusual kind of solo, just the. And it just like kind of builds and builds, and then dun, 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 and then it goes back into the. But it's a great rock. I mean, overall, just a great rock song. What Is and Never Should Be? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great kind of more slower song. But then it kicks in again with the drums. That's a great song as well. But yeah, the amount of really great like rock. I mean, just classic, iconic Led Zeppelin rock songs on that album make it a top album for me. So, what do you think, Scott?
Well, man, we did a whole Led Zeppelin series, so I'm not gonna talk a whole lot about this song, pun intended, terrible pun intended, or this album. But just saying that there's a lot of iconic songs and iconic moments on this album. Of course, that guitar riff on "Whole Lot of Love." What Is and What Should Never Be is awesome. Heartbreaker, love that song. And like Jason was talking about, the guitar solo is epic. Probably Led Zeppelin's best guitar solo, too. I think my favorite song on the album is actually Thank You, just because it's just a beautiful ballad and great use of organ and dynamics on that song. My second favorite is either Heartbreaker, or there's also Ramble On. That's a great one. I like the acoustic guitar on that one and the Lord of the Rings. Yeah. And other good songs on the album are "Livin' Lovin' Maid." That's an awesome song. I have to play that after Heartbreaker. I can't hear one without the other. They're supposed to go right after each other, just because there's no break between them on the album. So every time I hear the end of Heartbreaker, if I don't hear "Livin' Lovin' Maid," it's like, where did "Livin' Lovin' Maid" go? I'm expecting that first line to come in and that. Bring It On Home, that's another good song on there. The album closer, more of a bluesy number, but some good jamming on there. As far as how it compares to their first album, I think 1 and 2 are kind of about the same. I think they're both really good, but I think I like 3 better than 1 and 2.
Okay.
But of course, famously, Houses of the Holy was my favorite one. And
yeah.
4, obviously, my second favorite, because that's got, I don't even know how many of their best songs on it. Stairway to Heaven, Black Dog, Rock and Roll. We'll get to that one later. I'm sure that one's on the list.
I have a feeling it's probably on the list.
we had John Bonham right after Neil Peart, so is there a Who album in here somewhere so we can get Keith Moon on there too?
I know these are some heavy hitters. What do you think, Nick?
I mean, I already said enough about this album on Scott's channel. All I just gotta say is it's a really good album. A lot of great stuff on here. Sorry, I wish I could say more, but
no,
this is a very legendary Zeppelin album.
You're good, Nick.
We all agree it's a great album.
Yeah.
Okay, number 32. This is an interesting one because I'm not as familiar with this one. That's more of a Scott one, but it's Elton John by Elton John.
Yes.
Number 32.
Yes, I'm glad that's on there.
And this is because Adam has it at number 21, and Scott, you have it at number 20. So you and Adam almost exactly on this album.
It's a good album.
I like the album because it has my favorite Elton John song of all time, Your Song. I can't remember what else is on there. I just remember Your Song. I really love that song. But I think I even gave it like a 9 out of 10. So I like the album. It didn't make my top 100. And you guys have reviewed the album, haven't you?
Jacob, yes. Nick, and I all give it 10 across the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You guys, anybody wants to talk about it? You can.
I can talk about it. So
go ahead.
Since since I didn't have it on my list, I figured I'd talk about it. I love this album. It's not a top 100 for me though, but man, I love this album. I mean, there's this one guy on YouTube who says, I forgot how he described it, but he says, "Oh, it's too serious sounding."
I think he said that this is Elton John's po-faced album. I don't get that.
What?
I don't get it either. It's such a great album. I love Your Song. However, sorry, Jason, it is still my least.
I remember that. I was so
song on the album. Still is. Not that I'm not saying it's bad. I think all 10 of these songs are great. I love "I Need You to Turn To," great Baroque pop song. If you remember, I'm a sucker for Baroque pop songs. I love "Take Me to the Pilot." Take me to the pilot, take me to the station, take me to the pilot, I'm a stranger. Na na na, na na na. Oh, love that song. Great song. No Strings on Louise. It's like a Rolling Stone type song. Not like bluesy, but like kind of like soulful in a way. Or another fantastic song. First episode at Hyanton. Another great song. 6 Years On. Oh, it's a great song. A Border song I really enjoy. Grace Discovery. Ooh. I forgot how it sounds like completely, but I remember it being like very uplifting sounding kind of. Great stuff. The Cage is awesome. And in my opinion, my favorite song on the album, The King Must Die. Haunting way to end.
That's a good choice. Yeah, I really like this album just because it shows Elton John and Bernie Taupin's abilities as or Elton John as a singer and music songwriter, and Bernie Taupin as a lyricist. Like, it's got a singer-songwriter vibe. A lot of the songs is just Elton John and the piano, and then a string arrangement comes in the back. And I think that's really cool. Kind of elevates the almost poetry quality of the lyrics of this album. And, of course, it's got Your Song. It's kind of the song that broke him into the music business. Kind of his first really big song. Bernie Taupin wrote those lyrics when he was really young, too. So, kind of showing promising talent. Beautiful song, by the way. And then My Need You to Turn To is great. It's got like some harpsichord in there. It's really cool. Some other songs that I really like are the first episode at Hyanton. That song is hauntingly beautiful. Has a really cool theremin section. And some of Bernie's best lyrics on that one. Same with 60 Years On. That's like almost just as good and just as haunting, especially with the strings on that one. Talking about, what's it going to be like 60 years from now. Really great. The Cage, that song is probably it's the only really rockin' song on the album. Other than I forgot about Take Me to the Pilot. That one rocks too. Those Take Me to the Pilot and The Cage are kind of the two rock songs on there. Those are both awesome. Of course, great piano on the whole thing. It's Elton John. What was on here? Border Song. I forgot about Border Song. That's the kind of gospel sounding song on there. I love that one, Border Song. That one's great too. And then the closing song, The King Must Die, leaves on another very haunting song and on a very dramatic moment to end the album. So just a fantastic record.
Yeah, it's good. We got some Elton John representation. This is his only second album, but feels like a first album. It's a second album.
It technically was his first album internationally.
Oh, okay.
UK has Empty Sky, but that feels more like a demo album.
But nobody really talks about that album.
No,
Yeah.
nobody talks about Empty Sky. It's not that good.
Elton John's first album of the UK or whatever.
His first album from England.
Yep.
All right, so we're talking about Elton John. So who do we talk about next?
Billy Joel.
Why not Billy Joel? At number 31, we got The Stranger by Billy Joel.
Wow, that's a coincidence.
Isn't it? This is because, Scott, you have this at number 22 on your list, and Adam has it at number 19. So you guys are very close. Almost top 20 for you, top 20 for Adam. And I'll be honest, I can't believe I don't have this in my top 100.
What?
I think it'll be in my next list. It'll be in my top 100.
What?
Yeah. But it should be in my top 100. I'm kind of like embarrassed that's not. I just listened to this album actually recently because we're gonna cover this album.
Oh yeah,
on your channel.
Isn't that the next one that we're reviewing?
Yeah, the next one, yeah.
Oh wow, we need to do that.
So it's funny. We're gonna review it on your channel. So here I am talking about it again, or I'll talk it here. It's definitely it's the one that really. He was already making some good music by this point, but I feel like this album definitely was the biggest album that he ever put together. That really put him as like one of the great, great musicians, singer-songwriters, whatever out there. Not to say the other albums aren't good, but this one is just huge. And it starts like this incredible. And for me, you might maybe disagree, but I don't know. It starts this incredible run, one of the best runs of music, probably. And again, this is just me thinking. Because The Stranger, 52nd Street, Glass Houses, I might be missing something, but that's like the greatest. And you might put Turnstiles in there, and I don't know, but it's a great album run. It's definitely his biggest album. Everybody has it number one. Anytime I see a list, this is like the number one album. And yeah, again, I said I just listened to it. Now I have to think the name of the song.
Moving Out.
Well, Moving Out is a great song.
Just it has the Way You Are.
It has 3 or 4 big hits on it, I want to say. Just the Way You Are. That's one of my favorite. Again, we'll talk this on your channel, but I'll just say that's one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. It's like a top 10 Billy Joel song. So sweet. That's great love song. I watched his documentary on HBO, and his wife, he's still married to his first wife at this point. And she also kind of became his manager, which was problematic. And they made this album, and they weren't sure what the first big hit or what the first single should be, I think. And so the studio decided, I think, Moving Out was like the first single, I think. So they chose that song, which is not a bad choice, actually. It's a good song. But she chose that song as should be the single, and so they did Moving Out first or something like that, and then they did Just the Way You Are. I think Just the Way You Are, like I forget. I want to say it went like number 1 or something like that. It was like she was like correct. Like even people didn't think it was a big hit. Oh, Nick. Even Billy Joel didn't really think of it as a big hit song. He said, in fact, it's funny. He talked about when he wrote it, and he said, I don't know. It's a little too sappy. He thought it's like,
Sorry, my internet was acting up.
Okay. But something was missing, and then the producer said, put like a samba in there. I forget what he said. Put like there's something that he suggested that, and the drummer was like, "What's that?" Because it's funny because Billy Joel's like, our drummer is a rock and roll drummer. He has no idea what a samba is. And so they had to tell him like how to do the drum beat. And so they changed it up a little bit, and that made the song. And Billy Joel's like, okay, I can accept this song on the radio, because he almost didn't even want to put it on the album because he thought, I already did a sappy love song. I don't need to know. Anyways, but somehow I don't know. I love that song though. Beautiful song. Yeah. Moving on out. A song that's really, I'll say it again on your channel, but a song I'm really loving is Vienna. I think it's called.
That's a good one.
And I think I love it because I didn't realize the whole story behind it. And you might know it as well, about his dad. because his dad is from like Austria or something like that, and his dad left. His dad left them when he was young, and so didn't have a relationship with his dad growing up, and his dad went back to Vienna. Anyway, so the song's all about his dad going to. Anyway, so I love the backstory of it, but I just love the Vienna waits for you. It's amazing. The whole, even the melody, everything. I don't know. I that's a song that I'm really like, really jumping up as one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. Anyways, and there's many more, but I'll give it to one of you guys want to talk about it.
I'm not going to talk a lot about this album since that's the next one we're reviewing, but I'll give some brief thoughts. This is Billy Joel's best album, and I'm not going to hide that. All of his albums are really, or most of his albums are really good, but this one is on another level. Every song is fantastic. You got 4 huge hits on here. Moving Out, Just the Way You Are, She's Always a Woman, and Only the Good Die Young. And lots of amazing deep cuts on here as well that, like, you list those to people who aren't extremely familiar with Billy Joel and like, oh, I know that song too. So even the deep cuts on this album are famous. There are 2 songs that aren't as famous, the last 2 songs, but those are still good as well. It's a perfect album, and I'll save my my in-depth thoughts on each of the songs for the review.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm on the same boat with Scott. I don't really want to give too much away for the same reasons for him, because I want to give my in-depth thoughts on our album review. But I will say this: it's again same thing with Led Zeppelin 2, legendary album. A lot of iconic songs on here. Couple pretty great deep cuts too. Some like songs that aren't on those classic rock stations or on those greatest hits, but still worth listening to. But yeah, it's one of those albums where, to me, it's one of those 10 out of 10 albums of all time, along with albums like Born to Run, just albums like that, just like, so just you listen to it, you're like, okay, I'm waiting for the bad song to come on, and that never happens.
It never comes.
I'm waiting for the song that you're like, okay, when's this album going to get a little boring? Song that I'm like, this is not as good. It just never happens, with The Stranger. It's just great song after great song, great stuff.
I will say that this record is also really special because it was one of the first records that I added to my collection.
Okay.
When I was first collecting records, it's like, oh, I love Billy Joel. What Billy Joel album do I need to get? And then I looked and I saw The Stranger. I'm like, I saw, that's a famous album from him. Like, okay, well, what songs do I know on there? Oh, I know Moving Out. I love them. That's one of my favorite Billy Joel songs. I know Just the Way You Are. I know She's Always a Woman. Like, it turns out I knew most of the songs on the record already.
Yeah, really well produced. Moving Out, it's a great horn section. What's the Italian restaurant?
I'm not going to say anything about Italian restaurant. I'm saving that for the video.
What's it called?
Scenes from an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, that's another.
I'm saving all my thoughts on that one for the video.
Kind of a big deep cut, like most people like that song that are Billy Joel songs. Anyways, but yeah, lots of great stuff there. So Stranger, we have that number 31 on our list. Number 30, we got the White Album, or aka the Beatles self-titled album. We call it the White Album from 1968. And I have it number 27 on my list. And Scott, you have it number 11. It's almost a top 10 for you.
It is a top 10 now.
Oh, okay. I thought you gave it high scores at number 27, but you even beat me on it. I was like, oh, wow. I feel like it could be a divisive album because it's just so weird of an album. It's a double album, 30 songs. And we all say you can cut out probably, I don't know. I can say you cut out maybe 6 songs from this album. I don't know. And it'd be a better album. I don't know.
I'd say cut out 3 and put on Hey Jude and Revolution, and it would be an even more perfect album. In fact, if you cut out 3 songs, take out Stupid Wild Honey Pie, Why Don't We Do It in the Road, and Revolution number 9.
Yes.
Swap the single version of Revolution with Revolution 1, add Hey Jude, maybe a Lady Madonna in there somewhere, and you got the greatest album of all time.
Yeah, put Lady Madonna in there. Take out Honey Pie as well, but
oh yeah, I've said that before. I think it quite literally could be my favorite album of all time. Could be, I mean, my 2 favorite bands are The Who and Queen. Those are my 2 favorite bands, and the best stuff on the White Album is better than anything that both of them made combined, in my opinion. But then you have but then the bad stuff on there is arguably some of the worst stuff I've heard from any group, even some bad
Yeah.
stuff I've heard. I mean, some stuff is so bad, like I think I'd rather listen to Radiohead than listen to it. like, for
I know
example,
how you feel about radio.
like, why don't we do in the world, like, at least with the mechanical noises that they do on Radiohead, at least they're trying to be innovative. All Paul McCartney is just doing is saying, "Why don't we do it in the road?" No one will be watching us. Why don't we do it in the road? It's stupid and it's terrible. It's not. It's like why does this? And then Honey Pie, I can't even. Don't even get me start with that song. But
That song
you get the point. The best stuff is amazing, but the bad stuff,
Yeah.
It's
It
bad.
It is the best deep cut album for the Beatles or something like that, because you got so many interesting songs on here that you're never going to hear on the radio.
No.
Stuff like, Rocky Raccoon, and even Dear Prudence was never a radio hit, and that's an amazing song. Obla Di Obla Da, I think, was on the radio, so that's another great one. I'm trying to think. What's it called?
While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Well, yeah. And then you got that's like one of the greatest of all times on there. That and Blackbird are like some of the greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. But you got Happiness of Warm Gun, such a weird song, but so good, so trippy. Even like, and you got Helter Skelter, and you got Birthday. Fun little songs like that. I mean, rocking songs. I mean, Helter Skelter is the heaviest song ever did, and I would put it on par with just about any other band. It's a heavy song, in my opinion. But I love stuff like Julia and I Will and Mother Nature's Son. They're just almost too much to count because there's just so many songs on here. I even like Everybody Has Something to Hide Except for Me on Monkey. I like that song. I like Long, Long, Long. I like this continuing story of Bungalow Bill, whatever. Those such strange songs, but I love it. Or such different songs, I'd say. They did everything on this album, just the different styles and everything that I just absolutely love about the variety of it. Back in USSR, anything you want is on this album. Yeah, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite Beatles. It used to be higher on my list. I've been putting it lower because of Revolution 9 and Why Don't We Do It on the Road? They're just they're so bad. I have to agree with Nick. They're so bad that it does hurt the album. I still give it 10 out of 10. I'm like, it's still one of my favorite albums of all time. It's one of my favorite Beatles albums.
It's such weird. A tricky album to score. It really tricky. Is. It's one of those albums where, you can't score it without at least like a few people looking at you weird. Like you hate all those songs, but you give it a perfect score. Then you have to justify yourself. I mean, I had to justify myself because I used to be the same way. I'm like, nah, but now I'm like, I have to give it.
Here's the justification: is that despite Revolution 9 being one of the worst things I've ever heard, that's how good the good stuff is on this album. That it far outweighs Revolution number 9, which is saying something because Revolution 9 is pretty bad. That just shows how good the good stuff is on this album.
The good stuff, it's like one of the the good stuff is so good. It's like it makes you go like,
how could they even do Revolution number 9 when they can write stuff that good?
It makes you question everything because you're like, how are they so dysfunctional at this time? They're making like the best music they've ever made ever. Exactly. Like I'll say this is like them at their peak. I think this is the Beatles at their peak. Like some of the best stuff is like them at their peak, and it's not even them together. It's not even them together like half the time. That's what makes it crazy.
This is kind of like the end. Yeah, the Beatles. This is when they starting to not work together as much, and they're starting to fight.
Like Sgt. Pepper's, you could kind of see it. Paul's trying to control everything. They're starting to resent it a little bit.
John's starting to check out a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, you could. I mean, drugs, like Scott was saying, but the White Album is when everything started to go downhill. They went to India, but they were just everything that could go wrong just went wrong for that band.
I feel they have kind of a large prime. I feel like Revolver up through Abbey Road is really their prime, but that was really just a couple of years, 66 to 70. That's That's only 4 years. It just shows how short they were together.
Yeah. You're right. Their manager's dead at this point. Drugs probably playing a part. Yeah. And just they played together and toured together so long, they're probably tired of each other at this point. And John Lennon's bringing Yoko Ono into the studio, which is annoying the other Beatles, I think. And at this point, yeah. So it's so good. It's so good. I don't know. I still love it. But yeah, as I love a lot of these Beatles albums. All right, number 29 on the list, we got a pretty big album, Tapestry by Carole King. This came out in 1971, maybe the greatest year of music. I have it at number 17 on my list, and Adam has it number 13 on his list. So this is because me and Adam had it pretty high on our list that it made up this high. But man, I love this album. It's one of the best singer-songwriter albums, I think, of all time. It won Best Album 71. I mean, it's going against some really good albums. And it won the Grammy for Best Album. And the song, well, I think it won, I'm trying to think, It's Too Late, maybe? Or So Far Away. One of those songs, I think, won maybe Song of the Year or something. And then you got, let's see, is it You've Got a Friend? Is that right? No. James Taylor did the song, and he won like the Grammy for Song of the Year or something, because he did an album the same year and he got to do Carole King's song on it, and made a huge hit out of it as well. But I love So Far Away. It's probably my favorite Carole King song. I mean, it's so beautiful. She's such a good songwriter, really good singer too. Good piano player, great melody. I mean, she was writing. Of course, she wrote songs and melodies, for other bands way before she did this album, and was making hits and stuff. And then she put together this. It's just a greatest hits album. I mean, yeah, So Far Away, It's Too Late. What's it called? The Earth Moves, whatever that song. You got Natural Woman on here. You Got a Friend. I mean, it's got all of her big hits on this one album. Why it did so well. I mean, it sold a bunch. It did really well. Probably the biggest selling album of that year, in fact, if I remember right. That might be. And she was like the first female to to just rack up like best album, best song, and all this stuff, and some great stuff like Tapestry is a great deep cut on the album as well, and some other stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love the album. I don't know, what do you guys feel? You didn't have it on your list, but
I never heard it.
Oh, you haven't? Oh man,
I listened to it when I'm getting ready for top albums in 1971, but
yes,
as of right now, I've never heard it. But I've heard a little bit of some of the big songs.
The big song.
And It's Too Late. I'm somewhat familiar with those two songs.
I heard it a couple times. I don't remember as much of it now. I remember really enjoying it.
Okay.
But I it's been a while since I've heard Tapestry.
Yeah. Absolutely love that album. So glad I got in here at number 29. Number 28. This is the first album where three of us agree on it.
Okay.
Not necessarily us three, but at least 3 out of the 4. So this is where we get into 3 of us have this album on our list. That's why it's up this high. But number 28, we got "Can't Buy a Thrill" by Steely Dan. And the way it panned out on the list was Adam had it at number 84, I had it at number 78, and Scott had it at number 61. So it wasn't like super high on either of our lists, but the fact that 3 of us had it on one list made it jump up to 28 on the list. That multiple people actually agreed on this album. And Nick's the only one who didn't agree on it.
Nick isn't huge on Steely
I'm not
Dan.
a Steely Dan guy. If the second guy sang more, the one that doesn't sound like a jazzy
drunk Bob Dylan doing jazz.
Jazzy Bob Dylan. I would
Nick
like
describes
to
Donald Fagen's voice as.
I hate Donald Fagen's voice so much.
this is their debut album. This is by far my favorite Steely Dan album. I like this way more than anything else they've done. And that might be strange because a lot of people love their later stuff that's more jazz fusion. I'm not into jazz fusion. This one wasn't so jazz fusion as the other ones. It definitely felt more like a band because the when you get later in there, it's like it's really just two guys and a bunch of studio musicians because they didn't do any touring after the first like 3 or 4 albums, I think. And so, but here it's like I love the harmonies are really great on this album. That's why I love the album. It has some great. It has my 2 favorite Steely Dan songs, and some I love these songs so much. But really, in the year, it's one of my favorite songs. I mean, I love that song so much. I listen to that all the time. It just the harmonies are so freaking good. The reeling in the years, that part. Oh my god! And the guitar playing. I love the guitar playing so much. The tone of that guitar and the fact that the song begins on a guitar solo. Basically, it just starts on this guitar like solo. What is this? This guitar sounds amazing, and that's before they even start singing. And that chorus, like I said, it's just so amazing. Love the guitar parts on there. And then Dirty Work. Oh my gosh, that song is so. Once I hear that song, I sing it all day long. Like it gets in my head again. And I'm like with Nick. I really like David Palmer's voice, and I wish he only did one album. Then he quit the band. And
I wish they would have kept him on for longer as well.
Because they wanted Donald Fagen to be the main singer, but Donald Fagen had some stage fright, so that's why they got David Palmer. But then Fagen, I guess, got over it, and they decided they want him to be the main singer, so that's why Palmer's on his way out. But I love the vocals on this song. I'm with Nick. I think Nick's agreeing with me.
I wish he was the main singer so bad.
Yeah.
Because 9 out of 10 times, the reason why I do not like a Steely Dan song is usually because of the vocals.
I agree. I'm not the biggest Donald Fagen fan either. It's mostly the musicianship is really good on the albums. Is like the strong point. Even though Reeling the Years is Donald Fagen, but Dirty Work, I just love that. I don't want to do your dirty work no more. Again, and yeah, I love his vocals, love the chorus and those 2 songs are so freaking good. That's why I love this album because those 2. There's some other good stuff on here. I'm not gonna remember on top of my head because I don't have the album in front of me. Scott would probably mention the other ones. There's one that I really like, and I think Nick likes the album. I think Nick likes the song too because it has good.
Is it Midnight Cruiser?
Yeah, I love the harmonies on that as well, and it's a great song. That's not a hit song. And there's another song I really like in the album. I don't remember on top of my head, but overall,
do it again.
I'm not the biggest fan of that. It's an okay song. That's
or was
a big
it
hit.
Only a Fool?
Yes, yeah, Only a Fool. That's a really good song. Yeah, so it has it has 3 kind of big hits on it, and then 2 other pretty good deep cuts on it, I think. And overall, yeah, I really like the overall sound and the harmonies. And again, and they don't sound like this ever again because they kind of changed the band around. But anyways, I guess you have more to say, Scott, maybe.
I'm gonna be the person with the highest praise on this album. Steely Dan has such good musicianship. That's why I really like them. I'm completely different on Donald Fagen's voice. I think he's a perfectly fine singer. I don't think he's the strongest singer, but I don't think he's the weakest singer either. Of course, Do It Again is an amazing song with like some Latin percussion in the background and an electric sitar solo. That's very interesting. Of course, they had some other people in the band at this time, other than just Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. They had Denny Diaz was one of their guitar players. He plays the electric sitar on Do It Again. He's a really good guitar player, too. Their other guitar player is Skunk Baxter, who would go on to join the Doobie Brothers after he left Steely Dan. So Skunk Baxter is a very, very good guitar player. He's one like the studio greats. Other good songs on here, Dirty Work. I love that song. I love the chill vibe of that song. I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great one. Midnight Cruiser is a fun song. I love the kind of like the cha-cha feel of Only a Fool. That song is great. Kind of a diss track at John Lennon's Imagine. Kind of being like, okay, well, if you're going to say Imagine everything was free and there's no possessions, what is that going to look like from the eyes of a working class citizen? And you're up there with all your money and stuff. You can say that, but people who don't have anything are going to be like, that's a fake. We talked about Midnight Cruiser. What others? It's been a while since I've listened to that album. I mean, Reelin' in the Years. That's a fantastic song. I love that one. Great guitar solo there. Fire in the Hole. Fire in the Hole's got a good piano solo. I like that one. There's another one. I'm trying to. Was it Change of the Guard? That's the name of it. That's a cool song too. And then the last song on the album kind of has a Doobie Brothers feel to it. But it's a really good album and shows a lot of promise for their future work. I know Nick's probably not going to say anything about this album. We can go on.
No, I don't really have any thoughts on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll move on to number 27. We're going back to Billy Joel, number 27. This. Can you imagine a Billy Joel album even higher than The Stranger? It's Glass Houses.
Makes sense.
And that's probably because this is my favorite Billy Joel album, so that's probably why I got up to tie. Scott, you have it at number 95 on your list. Adam has it at number 79. I have it at number 40. I have the highest. I just really love this album when I first heard it. It just blew me away. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if this was going to be like one of the great albums. I knew this. Everybody talked about The Stranger. I knew 52nd Street won the album of the year in the Grammys. But then I got the Glass House, and I was like, it's like, why didn't you guys not tell me this was like his best album? You guys are probably like, we did. You just didn't hear it. And I'm like, oh, I know you guys went through this album before, I think, on one of your channels. And you went through Billy Joel albums, I think, if I remember right. And this was one that you guys enjoyed or you liked a lot. And I don't know why. But yeah, when I heard it, I was like, again, I don't have the album in front of me, but I'll say the All for Lena song is one of his best songs ever. I think I even went to Nick. I was like, Nick, do you know the All for Lena? And Nick's like, yeah, I love that song. I'm like,
that's always been my favorite song on Glass Houses.
Me too. And I'm like, yeah, I love that song.
It's one of those amazing discoveries you find
on
an album.
It's great discoveries I've ever had. Where I'm like, what is this? It's not a hit song. But that chorus, again, it's so catchy. That All for Lena, and just vocally great. It's just such a really fast-paced bump, 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 bump. It's just like, man, it's so nicely paced, and it's just so catchy, and it's just wonderfully done song. I'm like, yeah, I love the All for Lena song. I know there's some big hits on there. I'm not remembering. I remember that, and I remember another song I really liked was Falling Asleep with the Television On, I think it's called.
That's a good one,
I
too.
love that song, Sleeping with the Television On.
And it's not a hit song.
Your eyes are saying talk. Oh, I love this album. It's so fun.
Oh, it's so good. And I know you mentioned I know there's some big hits I'm not even remembering. I remember the deep cuts because those are the big discoveries I had when I was like, wow, this is so good. Even the stuff I don't know is really good. Maybe you guys remember more about it too, but
this is probably the best Billy Joel album for finding deep cuts.
Okay.
I would probably say. I mean, it's got 2 huge hits on there. You may be right, and it's still rock and roll to me, which I love both of those songs.
Maybe right, yeah.
This album is Billy Joel trying to do more of a rock sound after they're saying he was like a soulless balladeer or something, like he was nothing but a soulless piano balladeer, and he basically went, "Oh, I'll show you guys. I'm gonna make a rock album." So he makes this rock album with all these. Of course, he's a great piano player, so he says this is the album he had the most fun making because he was trying to do a rock album. He wanted to use as many different electric pianos and keyboards as he could get his hands on to make this album, and you can hear that all over this album. stuff like the aforementioned All for Lena has a really cool like electric piano intro, and the cool bass line. That song is awesome. I'm gonna save my deep thoughts for when we review this album.
Yeah.
But there's a minor hit on here too. Don't Ask Me Why. That's a good song, kind of like a little, samba kind of thing. All the waiters in your grand cafe leave your table when you drink. Oh, what I love the most about this album is every song on this album is just fun. It's just fun, upbeat,
Yeah,
Billy Joel style rock and roll. I mean, starting with "You May Be Right." You get that glass. That's what I love about the album. Is the album cover is him in the leather jacket holding a rock.
Yeah,
like he's about to, based on the old saying, "Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones."
Yeah.
And the first thing you hear is the sound of glass shattering. So I'm like, oh my gosh, he threw the rock. That's the first thing I think. He threw that's the sound of him throwing the rock, and he hit the glass. Great guitar too. Friday night I'll crash your party. Saturday I said I'm gonna have to listen to this album again. You're making me want to listen to this song. We already talked about "Don't Ask Me Why." All for Lena, that song is great. What else is on? Yeah, "Sleeping with the Television On." That's a fun song. "I Don't Want to Be Alone Anymore." I don't want to be alone anymore. I was just making sure. Oh, there's all these like oh kind of choruses on this album, like really big, almost anthemic kind of sounding choruses, very catchy stuff. I will say the album does lose a little bit of steam near the end. Like I like all the songs, but whatever the French song is and the last song, "Through the Long Night" and "Close to the Borderline" aren't the best songs on the album, which is sad because ending the album off, you want it to end with a bang. But everything up to that is just like bang, ba bam, ba bam, ba bam, ba bam, like all these great songs that are just fun right in a row.
Yeah, I agree. All right, we're going back to Elton John. Number 26, we got "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road." Probably his, if not biggest, definitely a contender for biggest album for Elton John. It's my favorite Elton John album so far that I've heard. And I've heard most of his albums through his kind of big period, I would say. This is a double album, and gosh, it's so good. I don't give it 10 only because there's a couple songs I didn't like on the album, and it's so long. I probably should give it 10, though. I don't know. I'm kicking myself because I think everybody gave it 10 but me. I'm like, I love this album, too. I'm maybe being too harsh. I should say, so, Scott, you had this album, number 72 on your list.
It needs to be higher than that.
I had it number 68, and Adam had number 61. So that's how the three of us had it there. But I think this, I'm trying to think. It has Benny and the Jets, right?
Yeah.
I love Benny Jets. That's my favorite song on the album now. It didn't used to be, but it's one of those songs that the more times I hear it, the more I just like, I just love singing to the song. I love the piano, the bum, 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 bum. I don't know. The piano is just something about it. I just absolutely love the way he plays that. And then, of course, the Benny and the Jet. I don't know. It's just so fun to sing to. And it's so fun. And got electric boots or something. Bum, bum, bum. I read it in a magazine. I don't know. It is so good. That's been one of my favorites. Obviously, "Goodbye Yellow Brick Road" is a beautiful song. That's another all-time favorite for me. You got another one of his most beautiful songs, "Candle in the Wind." I mean, come on. I mean, that's so beautiful.
Song. Candle in the wind.
And so lyrically great. About Marilyn Monroe. Yeah. Those three are like the three big ones I can remember on the top of my mind. And there's some great deep cuts, and I'm not gonna remember them because I don't have them. I don't have the album in front of me. I'm trying to think, what's the song? There's a song I really like on this album. No, I'm not gonna remember on top of my mind.
"Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting."
That's another good one. That's a good upbeat song.
"Gray Seal."
What's that? Yes.
Gray Seal.
I love Gray Seal so much.
That's a great song.
I love that one.
I don't know how you knew that. That was the song I was thinking of.
I remember when we reviewed it and you said, I'd never heard Gray Seal before, but that was such a catchy song.
Yes, that was one of them where I was like, man, what a great, kind of deep cut on the album. But yeah, it's definitely one of his big albums for a good reason. It's some big hits. It's a little too long maybe, but still it's got some great stuff on there. Is this the one that has like this really long song with a big instrumental?
Yeah, Funeral for a Friend.
Yes, Funeral for a Friend. I remember I didn't like the first part as much because it went a little too long, but I love the second part so much. It was really great as well. Anyways, and does that begin the album or am I crazy?
Yeah, it's the first song on the album.
That's the first song on the album. Yeah, so I remember that. But I don't know. Do you want to give your thoughts, Nick?
What was that?
You want to give your thoughts on Goodbye?
I say we've already discussed it on my album. I mean, on Jacob's channel, I should say. Go check out Jacob's channel. Go check out his video on that.
Just took care of
it. Which is another great Elton John album, by the way. Definitely check that one out too.
Another great album.
Great double album again. Two legendary double albums, the White Album and Yellow Brick Road. Can't get enough of those two albums. Definitely check it out. And side 3, really underrated.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the White Album. There's a lot of different styles and stuff on here. Again, we already reviewed this on Jacob's channel, so if you want any in-depth thoughts, go watch that video. But I just love all the different styles on here. This is really Elton John's peak when you think about it. He had just gone off of this string of really successful albums, but this was the big one. Lots of great songs that you'll recognize from him. A lot that you won't, but listen to the whole thing. You won't be disappointed. And yeah, I'm with Nick. First time I listened to side 3, I was like, oh, this is where all the bad songs are. But you listen to it more and they grow on you. Especially the Ballad of Danny Bailey really grew on me. I didn't like that one at first, but then I listened to that more and I kind of got into that one more. Side 4 is really underrated as well. Roy Rogers, Social Disease, Harmony. Great stuff on side 4 too. Yeah, don't discount the second disc.
Yeah, good point. All right. We mentioned this album already, but number 25, Houses of the Holy. Ooh, Led Zeppelin, even higher than Led Zeppelin 2. So definitely a big one for us. And all 3 of us have it on our list, actually. So it's one all 3 of us.
All 3 of us here, not Adam.
Not Adam. Adam was the only one who didn't put it on his list. But me and Nick had it kind of low on our list, actually. But I had number 96. Nick had number 93. Scott had number 10. So Scott put it in his top 10. That's how big it was for him. Me and Nick were like, God, I really love the album, but there's so many good ones. It was hard to, where to put it. And so we put it kind of low on the list, but we love it. Like we all like it. This is funny. Yeah, this is right after Led Zeppelin 4. And it's another just got some great rock songs, some big hits, and I put it low probably because there's like one song that I'm not like a big fan of, and you guys know,
but it's awesome,
and that you guys love.
No Quarter.
What was that?
No Quarter.
No Quarter. Yeah, everybody loves it. But and you guys, I know we talked about this album before, but just to mention, what's it called? Over the Hills and Far Away. Is that the song?
Yeah.
Yes. That was my favorite song on the album. One of my favorite all time Led Zeppelin songs. The acoustic guitar playing is so good at the beginning, and then the bum 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 minute. I think if that's the song I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah.
That bum 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 bum, and then it gets into a rock song, and then bum bum or whatever. It's great. I love Jamaica. I don't know. I love that song. I think Jacob didn't like that song, and I was like, "What? That song's good."
And then he likes "Cherry O Baby" by the Rolling Stones. I don't get that.
I know he likes. Oh, he doesn't like that. That confuses me too, honestly.
But yeah, I love that. Oh. I don't know. It's so cool. Like I never heard anybody sing that. I don't want to go. It's just, I don't know.
Oh.
Cool vibe. I think it's what's it called? Ocean is like the last
Yeah,
song.
the ocean.
That is such a good rock song as well. Great rock riff again. It's the Led Zeppelin. So many great rock riffs. A song that I really grew on me is Dancing Days.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh yeah.
That, yeah. It's like Dancing Days are here again or something like that. That song is like a really good like deep cut that's like really growing on me. I know you really love the Rain song, I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, the Rain song. That song is awesome.
I love that one.
The deep cut kind of song on there. I know I mentioned like every song on there.
Wasn't that your favorite song at one point, Scott?
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, my favorite Led Zeppelin song at one point.
Yeah.
Then I re-listened to Stairway and was like, oh. Well, this is the best Led Zeppelin song.
Rain song's good though. It's a nice.
It's my number 2.
Yeah, so it's a song with your usual great hits and also great deep cuts on it. It's another banger. It's my third favorite though. It's my third favorite because 2 and 4 they're so good as well. But they're number 25, top 25 album for us.
I think it averaged out to be like our favorite Led Zeppelin. Well, based on you, me, Nick, and Jacobs and Breyer's average or whatever, it was placed as our favorite.
It was the biggest average. We all had a big average on it, I guess. A big score on it.
Because all the other ones were so divisive.
Yeah, because we had some ones were high, ones were low, and it was just kind of all.
This is the only one that we could agree on.
Most consistent, album for us, but.
And then 3 would have been consistent if Hats Off to Roy Crapper wasn't on there.
Oh man, that's another album where it's like you have like most of the album you going great, and then like at the very end it just takes a halting turn for the worst. It's like if you like say if you're playing football and you caught the ball and you're running down the field, you're getting right to the end zone and then you fumble the ball last second.
yeah, we've seen that happen. I forgot what I was gonna say, but yeah.
Where's that confounded ridge?
Yeah, where's that confounded? Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, Jacob had the best. I don't know. You mentioned every time. Roy Harper. Jacob had the best quote or line on.
Yeah. Roy take a poop in his hat.
I forgot what he says.
What he say?
He says that's off to Roy Harper. He can go take a poop in his hat or something like that.
You can take a big poop in my hat.
And then Breyer looks at the back of his CD because he has the bonus like deluxe edition. He's like, "There's a song called Bathroom Sounds on here."
Roy Harper take a crap in my. I was like, "What?" Jacob. That's so funny. All right. Number 24 on our list. We don't talk about Bob Dylan too much, but we got a Bob Dylan album here. And that is Highway 601 Revisited here at number 20 on the list. Obviously, probably his biggest album. I mean, it's everybody's like, I say that he has so many albums. I'm sure the big Bob Dylan fans are like, no, this obscure album I've never heard of is his best album. But it's like if you're more like me and you're like, I just like his big albums, this is definitely up there. Though recently I've actually enjoyed some of his albums in '64. I actually really enjoy. Those are my favorite albums. No Side of Bob Dylan and
that's so good. Times Are Changing.
Those are now my two favorite. Highway 601 Revisited was my favorite, and then I heard those two albums and they jumped it. Still it's at number 24 on our list. I had it number 81 on my list. Scott had it number 74 on your list, and Adam had number 31, so he had it fairly high on his list. Did you guys review this album?
No.
Okay.
Which one?
Albums.
Which one?
Highway 61 Revisited?
No, I got very short with the Bob Dylan review series.
Yeah, Free Will and Bob Dylan, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, we have to Free Will and Bob Dylan. Too many albums.
But it's a great period. I mean, the Free Will and Bob Dylan, the 2 I Said in 64.
60s is a good time for Bob.
Oh, yeah, 60s was great. And this was like the album to me that like kind of he went electric. I don't know if it's the first electric. It might be the second electric album.
His first full electric album. The last one was half electric, half acoustic.
Yeah.
Which was more controversial than you think it would be. All the folk purists like, what you put an electric guitar, bass, and drums in these folk songs for?
Because his first 4 albums was just strictly acoustic guitar and harmonica. That was like all you had albums. And this one, all of a sudden, you get electric. So it was interesting. So this is almost like a turning point for Bob Dylan. And I said most of us absolutely loved it. I'm like, yeah, why not do electric? Even though I do love this acoustic stuff more, I'm like, this still interesting and branching out here. I mean, you have to talk about Like a Rolling Stone. It's like the best Bob Dylan song of all time. But that beginning with the key, the organ, whatever, boom, boom, whatever. Once upon a time, time, didn't you? It's the melody is so good, musically so good. The chorus, I mean, probably the best Bob Dylan chorus in my opinion. Like he doesn't do a lot of choruses that are super catchy. His songs are very interesting because he almost doesn't have choruses. A lot of the songs, it's just like he does like 10 verses in a row with no chorus, just one verse after another. But yet at the end of each verse, it almost has like a chorus at the end that kind of repeats itself. If that makes sense. But like he'll just sing the times they are changing. That's like the whole chorus. But like the Rolling Stone, man, it's so good when he does that.
How does it feel?
How does it feel to be on your own?
Like a complete unknown.
Like a
rolling stone.
Oh, it's so good. Got like a girl that used to be like high up or something like that, but now she's like got dumped or something. Now she's not rich anymore. So I don't know. There's some kind of really cool lyrical, but like if you have nothing, then you have nothing to lose. I think it was a line that's really great. But anyways,
again, first rock song to ever break the 6-minute mark and get played on the radio.
Yeah.
Fun fact. They split the song in half. On the single was part 1 and part 2, each 3 minutes long. People liked it so much that the DJs would play both sides of the single to play the whole song because people wanted to hear the whole song.
Interesting. I think that's the big hit. I don't know if there's any other hits. Really, it's more of a deep cut album. Now I think about it.
Mr. Jones is a big song, but I don't know if that was a single.
I was gonna say I really like that song.
It's probably one of those cases where it's like one of those fan favorites that just became like one of those.
Yeah. That's my favorite song on the album.
Mr. Jones. Yeah, that's a good song.
I love the one with the "Won't You something
Queen Jane."
I love that song. And that's such a good deep cut.
That was in your top 5 deep cuts when we did that video.
Yeah. That's right. It was. Like, I can't believe that wasn't a hit song. It's so good.
Desolation Row. That's a good one. That one's just acoustic. Desolation Row.
11 minutes. It doesn't feel like 11 minutes.
Not a bit.
Anybody I talk to, that's like one of their favorite Bob Dylan songs on the album. And I agree. It is such a great closer. Again, like you get to it and you're like, what is this song? I never heard it before. Obviously, 11 minutes you can't play on the radio. So that's why no one heard of it, I suppose. But I mean, yeah, until you hear the album, then you're like, what a cool song. That's what Bob Dylan does. He does these. It's like my favorite song on Blonde on Blonde is like the last song, and it's like a really long song.
Oh, Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands. I love that one.
Yeah, Sad-Eyed Lady. Yeah, it's not a hit song. It's long. I like it, though. It's like, I like when Bob Dylan does that. Sometimes it works for me. Sometimes
I like Tombstone Blues, too. That one's good.
Yeah, Tombstone Blues. Yeah, it's not many songs, I don't think, on the album either. But
I will say, funny enough, that this is on here in the same one as Steely Dan, because Steely Dan took the title of their album from a song on this album.
Oh, really?
Can't buy a thrill. That's a line on one of the songs on this album.
I didn't realize. I can't remember if we have any other Bob Dylans on our list. I have to look, but
No,
I don't know.
Although I
put
put
Bob Dylan
Blonde
on my
on Blonde
list.
now.
We don't. Oh no, yeah. Blood on the Tracks might have been on here because I really like Blood on the Tracks. That's one of my favorite.
I like Blonde on Blonde even better than Highway 61.
And Blonde on Blonde's very good. I mean, they all deserve to be on here. I don't know if we're all the biggest Bob Dylan fans. We all like Bob Dylan though.
I like all Bob's 60s stuff. I haven't heard Blood on the Tracks yet. I need to.
I kind of because I've been listening to his albums as I go along because we were going through the 70s, you know, top 10 albums of the 70s and 80s, and so I'm listening to his later stuff. I just know why I just can't get into his later stuff. Like once he hit, I mean, except for Blood on Tracks, which is 75, I think is a great album, but most other stuff, I don't know. I'm not into as much. I think Nick likes some of them better than I do. Like
Nashville Skyline.
Like I wasn't into that, but I think Nick really likes that album. Maybe
That's a great album.
It's more of a country album, I think, or something.
Yeah, I like all of his 60s albums.
I listen to all his albums. There's a lot of albums I like, and then there's a lot of albums I don't like.
Yeah, I'm not on all of them. Some like the John Wesley one was okay.
Oh, I like John Wesley Harding. That's a good one.
I thought that was an okay album. It's not one of my favorite, but I was like, yeah, that's fine.
I like the Frankie Lee and Judas Priest song.
Oh, that's right. That's my top 5 favorite Bob Dylan song right there. Frankie Lee and Judas Priest.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so that's a little bit on Bob Dylan, I guess. But yeah, so Highway 61 Visit, number 24. Number 23. I know you guys just talked about this album, so you guys aren't going to want to talk about this album, but I can't talk about it. And that is Ziggy Stardust at number 2.
I'll just say go watch the video. It just came out this last week.
It just came out this last week.
Yeah, you already had a lot to say about it.
Yeah.
I just watched your video too. Yeah. This last week, and I enjoyed it a lot. You guys and Breyer did a really good job talking about the album. The only thing I know is Starman is a really good song.
That's a good song.
Starman, ba 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 bum. Anyways, you know, I've listened to the album a couple times, and it's like I'm not a big fan, but I'm like, there's some okay stuff in there, I guess. Starman's definitely the big one for me, but I think there's a couple other songs where I'm like, it's okay, I guess. I don't know why I'm just not big on it. Like you guys all were like 10 out of 10s, and I'm like, okay. This is definitely his biggest album, I think. I think this is. I'm looking at the albums. This is the highest rated album that we have is Ziggy Stardust. We had a bunch of David Bowie albums on our list, of course.
Because you caught me in my David Bowie listening phase. If I was listening to another artist, you'd have caught all their albums on there. Whoever I'm listening to at the time, you're going to get a lot of albums from on my list.
Because the last album we talked about was Station to Station at 42 on the list. And that's like, and I said that's probably the second most popular album, I feel like, by Bowie fans, maybe. But yeah, Ziggy Stardust is like the album. It's like the glam rock album for David Bowie, I think, or something. It's such a weird title too. Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars or something. It's like, what? It's like what the Kinks did. The Kinks always love these really long titles, and they're like, can't we just call it Lola, and just be done with it? But
yeah, or like Village Green.
But we have to put part 1 on here. Why do we have to put part 1?
There is no part 2. What the hell?
What? But I guess I should say Nick had this at number 99 on his list. Scott, you had it at number 36, and Adam had it at number 16. So Adam had it the highest, actually.
Oh wow!
So Adam really likes his album, evidently. Pretty high up. I did not have it on my list, but all right, we'll do 2 more albums. Is that okay? We'll end at 20.
Good. Okay.
That'll make it an even. So we'll have a top 20. We might do 20 through 11, then like the top 10 or something like that, maybe.
Sounds good.
It sounds like a good even number.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Number 22. This is one we all agree on that we talked about many times, and that is Tommy by The Who.
Yes, Tommy.
1969. I had it at number 100. It barely made my list, and I can explain to you why. And it's probably because I already have like Who's Next and Who Are You. Of course, I'm spoiling it, but those are even higher on my list. Tommy, like musically, it's fantastic. The rock opera, I love the whole rock opera thing of it. It is a bit long. It's like a double album. There's a lot of instrumental stuff in there, though it's very good. It does have a lot of instrumental stuff in there. It's such an interesting album. I don't like the story. That's my big problem. Why it's not higher on my list. Maybe that's a weird way to say it, but when you listen to the story of Tommy, you're like, "Geez, Louise, what is going on?" The kid he sees a traumatic event, and then he makes himself deaf, dumb, and blind, but he's not really deaf, dumb, and blind. But he psychologically, and they're trying to figure out. He's getting bullied. I mean, not just bullied, but tortured by his cousin, like horrible. I like the song though, but I just hate the idea that he's getting tortured. But he goes to the Acid Queen. Like, what is she doing to him? Like, not good stuff.
Drugs. That's
drugs.
60s are wild.
And then obviously we talked about it. Uncle Ernie. I hate Uncle Ernie so much. And maybe that's what hurts the album for me is that the time that he's on there, I'm like, oh god, like I can't stand this.
Oh, I just skip that part every time.
Oh, you gotta skip.
I go straight to Pinball Wizard. We get to side 3. I'm like, it's time for Pinball Wizard. We ain't listening to Uncle Ernie. We're going to Pinball Wizard.
But Pinball Wizard. The first 2 songs are like, I think the album could have done without both of those songs.
Yeah,
it's a long intro, kind of into the. Yeah, I agree with that. Even though the
worst part of it is that those 2 songs lead to nothing. Just goes right into Pinball Wizard.
Yeah, you're like, oh my gosh, that's awful. Oh, Pinball Wizard.
It's like he's fiddling with Tommy, and then like goes right into Pinball Wizard. It's like, what happens next? Like, why bring it up? Why bring up? Sorry if I'm going to be graphic about it. Why bring up the molesting part if it goes nowhere? It's just bringing up molesting for the.
Why did you need it?
Just to bring it up. They're like, hey, Tommy gets molested. Okay, Pinball Wizard. Like, what?
It's just whiplash on the.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean,
you're like, this is an awful. This is what? You say like, what? This is horrible. This is awful. This is. Oh wait, Pinball Wizard. That's Pinball Wizard.
Side 2 makes sense because like you have Christmas, and then you have Cousin Kevin, which makes sense because you have him bullying probably around Christmas time, and then you have him going to the Acid Queen. It makes sense. It flows, and then of course Undertour, which even though I'm not a fan that it's 10 minutes, it's great, but I'm a fan of how long it is. But at least it concludes. It's like, okay, he got high and all that, but then side 3 is like, oh, Tommy gets molested. Here's Pinball Wizard. It's like, what?
He's also good at pinball.
He goes nowhere.
They could have just started with Pinball Wizard because Pinball Wizard goes straight to the Pinball Wizard transition to the Doctor is a much better transition in this story. It's already a weird story.
It's just that part of Tommy has never made sense. And what's a good comparison to it? Have you guys ever watched the original Willy Wonka movie?
Yes, the tunnel.
It reminds me of the tunnel scene. It's like the tunnel scene.
Completely unnecessary. Why did they put it in?
I mean, I love the tunnel scene. Don't get me wrong, but there's the tunnel scene, and then no one mentions it. It doesn't get brought up again, and that's it. It just comes and then it goes. That's what Uncle Ernie is. It's like you introduce the character, he does his thing, and then no brought of it. Doesn't lead to anything else. It's just like, here's his messed up stuff. Now he's Pinball Wizard. It's just like, just have Pinball Wizard start side 3, and that's it.
Yeah, because the rest of side 3 is the best part of the album. But you have that awful song at the beginning that ruins the rest of the side. It's like, just skip straight. I always just skip straight to Pinball Wizard because you got to go to the Mirror Boy after that and smash the mirror. Exactly. Sensation.
Yeah, it's just like another part of Tommy that makes no sense to me is that like after. Here's the thing that makes no sense to me is that after breaking the mirror, why not have I'm free right after?
Yeah,
you could have had I'm free, and then instead of I'm free on after Sally Simpson it's Sally Simpson. Have Sensation be on there because he's a sensation. People love him. He's a sensation. Have that after Sally Simpson. Not I'm free. That's the one thing that I'm not a fan of Tommy about is that they're trying to tell you story. Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, minus the one part of it, but it goes everywhere. I mean, I think Quadrophenia does a better job at it. I mean, because it is the second time they did it, but the first time it's like, we're here, we're there,
I think the reason why, and don't get me wrong, this album does have flaws, but I think the reason why it comes off the story aspect musically, this is very well thought out and very well put together, which is why it's my second favorite Who album. Story-wise, I think the reason why it's so choppy and messed up is because this is literally the first time anybody's ever done something like this. This is groundbreaking for the 60s.
That's true.
Nobody's ever done a whole album where the whole album has a cohesive story to it before.
That's true.
I mean, they had the Pretty Things, SF Sorrow came out before, but that's not exactly like a linear story.
No.
And it doesn't have reoccurring themes throughout the album like this one does, like the See Me, Feel Me, that goes all throughout the album. It's got a whole overture with all the themes you're going to hear throughout the album.
That's true.
Like, musically, very well put together. I see why they call it a rock opera, because it's structured a lot like an opera where you have, the overture with all the themes. A lot of the songs contain themes that are like the Pinball Wizard thing. You hear that at the end of I'm Free, too, and in the overture. When you're talking about See Me, Feel Me, you get that one theme that goes, listening to you. Or what's the other theme you hear a lot? Tommy, can you hear me?
Yeah,
you hear that a lot.
It's a great album. I love this album. You guys know me. People who've watched my channel for a while, they know I'm a huge Who fan. But even with my favorite bands, I gotta nitpick the hell out of them because of how much I love them. We just have to. I mean, you guys do with the Beatles, I do with the Who. There's just things about Tommy that bothered me, and the Uncle Ernie thing is a huge problem for obvious reasons.
Yeah. I think I know why that's on there is because I think the guitar player, Pete Townsend, his aunt did that to him, and he thought that issue should be brought up, but the way that he did that on this album was a terrible way of doing that. Just throwing it randomly in the middle of the story.
And he had my favorite member write it. Like,
and Whistle.
Have him. I mean, and Whistle, you do it. You make the song about that. It's like it's terrible. It's like I love that Whistle, and you have him making the most messed up song on the album. It's like
both of the most messed up songs. He did the Cousin Kevin song. Why was the Cousin Kevin song such a banger? Even though it's like he's torturing him.
I mean, it makes sense because that's what he's a messed up family member, and probably came over for Christmas.
I like to think
that's why I like.
I like to think that Kevin is Ernie's son. I'm pretty sure he is.
I think he is. Yeah, I think you're right.
That's whoever's family that is. That's the messed up side.
That's the messed up family.
Oh yeah, I would not want to have a part of my family be.
No, cut them off. Cut them off.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to act if it's terrible. But
yeah, the song starts off. Do you think it's all right?
No, it's not all right.
You're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, this doesn't sound good already. Like, if you're questioning it, maybe it's not a good idea.
It's funny that we have this album up this high, and all we're talking about is all the negatives. I want to talk about the positive. Probably because we're going to review this album eventually.
Yeah, I mean, on my channel, I'd love to start the Who series, but one more nitpick is that it's not as electric as as it is with I think they did this. I think they performed this at Woodstock. This album,
yeah,
they did a lot. And it's a lot more hard rocking on the.
I think the reason is because they were supposed to overdub a full orchestra on it, and they ran out of money, and so they just had to throw together what they had. Because Townsend played more acoustic guitars and was saving room for the orchestra. And they ran out of money for the full orchestra, and so Ant Whistle was just like, "Oh, I'll play some horn parts over it instead."
Exactly. I mean, it would have been nice to have an orchestra for Tommy. I mean, like I said, Quadrophenia they do it a lot better on that album. They made the story a little bit more clear. For one, they don't have useless sections of the album where it's just like, let's just bring this part of the story up and then not bring it up at all afterwards. If you're a fan of Tommy and you want to listen to more Who rock opera, listen to Quadrophenia.
Well, I mean, yeah, Pinball Wizard is one of the best.
Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good. We talked about it, I know, recently when we talked about Elton John's Pinball Wizard, but yeah, I've talked about it so many times, but I love that song. But yeah, we talked. Christmas is such a good song. Even the cousin song is good. The mirror, go to the mirror, boy.
That's my favorite song. I like that even more than Pinball Wizard. That song rocks.
Oh, really? It's
just
hard
a little bit more.
They all flow together so well. The mirror, and then smash the mirror. I'm gonna smash the mirror, or whatever, and then into the I'm free or something. I don't know. There's a couple songs in a row that really flow well together. That is really cool. And I think we have to say it's like one of what's his name? One of Roger Daltrey's best vocal performances, maybe.
This is kind of where Roger Daltrey finds his voice. Like,
yeah,
this is the album that turned the Who from a pop band into a rock band. Like,
yeah,
their early '60s stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, Keith Moon, crazy drummer, but like they're very much a British like pop group up until this album. Like, of course, My Generation, that's heavy stuff for the '60s.
Yeah.
But most of their stuff, like, they labeled it as maximum R&B because they were, they're a British pop group. This album is really where the rock comes in. Putting the rock in rock opera.
Yeah, it's much more, maybe more rocky than the Who Sell Out.
Well, that one had I Can See for Miles, so you can kind of hear little glimpses of where they're going.
Yeah. This album definitely seems like a change, and yeah.
And the next one is Who's Next, so.
Yeah, then you got Who's Next right after that.
That's like one of the greatest rock albums ever made.
And we even talked about Who Sell Out last time, Nick. The Who Sell Out was number 37, so that was up pretty high, and then now we got Tommy.
Man, if we spent all that time talking about Tommy, I can't wait for our actual review of it.
Oh, you already know me. I love. Every Who album we're going to review, I'm gonna have a lot to say about.
I want to say a lot because as weird as the story of Tommy is, and it's like very confusing, I feel like it's kind of a metaphor for Pete Townshend's own life and his like struggles with fame. I feel like that's the point of the album, is that he's writing Tommy vicariously as his own story, that sometimes he feels trapped inside, like he can't see, hear, or speak because of the pressures of fame, and that like or like he was a young kid who was like kind of ignored, and then whenever he gets famous, Tommy gets famous for pinball, he gets famous for music, all of a sudden he's thrown into all this fame and fortune and doesn't know what to do with it. I feel like that's kind of a metaphor.
Well, I mean, Townsend is a genius, I think. Yeah. When it comes to this stuff, I mean,
yeah.
I don't know how he did it, but I forgot to mention
one song at a time.
Scott, you had this at number 29, and Nick had number 20. So it was the top 20 album for Nick.
Top 30.
Top 30 for you. Me, top 100 barely made it in. All right, last album we'll talk about, number 21. We got Buffalo Springfield by Buffalo Springfield from 1966. Yeah, you might be like, what? This high? We love this album.
It's because of the special guest vocals from Mike Nesmith from the Monkees.
Exactly.
Mike Nesmith, man, that mean you couldn't have thought of a better album to star on.
Such a good album that I have 2 copies of it.
Yeah.
I don't have any copy, sadly. My record store is stubborn and doesn't have it. The only Buffalo Springfield they have is the retrospective album and the third album. And that's like the weakest album for me, too.
But Adam had this at number 96, so he had it on his top 100, kind of barely. I had it at number 32. Nick had number 10, so it was a top 10 album. That's how much Nick likes this album. It was a top 10 album. And I love the album. We reviewed it, me, Nick, and Breyer on Nick's channel, maybe a year ago. I don't know. It was a little bit ago, maybe longer. I don't know. But yeah, this is what album. I can't remember why I finally heard the album, and I was like, this album is so good. Like this is way better than I expected it to be. Obviously, you got the biggest hit on here, for what it's worth, whatever. It's my favorite song. It's the typical one, but there's so many other good songs that are about just as good as that one. But that's so good though. Something's happening here, bunny. The Neil Young guitar, ringing guitar. Oh, it's so good. And then stop. What's that sound? Everybody, look what's going down. It's such a great. It's one of the great 60 songs of all time, in my opinion. And this is one of the greatest 60 albums that nobody ever talks about. I feel like me and Nick probably would agree with me that it's like one of the underrated albums. No one has this on no one puts this on like a top 100 albums list. And me and Nick are like, this is like one of the great albums that nobody puts on there because it's definitely the folk rock album of the era. It's during that kind of folk rock era, and it's one big hit, but all the deep cuts are so great. And it's so funny because you have the harmonies are amazing. You have two. It's only written by two people really though. It's Stephen Stills and Neil Young wrote all the songs. Richie Furay didn't write any songs, but he sang a lot of the songs because they didn't want Neil Young singing because they didn't think he was that good of a singer. So they gave a bunch of his songs to Richie Furay, who did a really good job with them. But Neil Young could have sang them. I think Neil Young has a good voice, but I don't know. I guess it's a little different. So they're like, yeah, we'll have Richie Furay sing them. And Neil Young's like, well, I'm probably going to quit this group. Basically, after the second album, he's like, I'm out of here. And that's the end of what could have been one of the greatest bands, in my opinion. Only did 3 albums. But they have such a good sound. I love their overall sound. And
in the wake of Buffalo Springfield, Stills and Young joined another band.
You got half of one of my favorite bands of all time, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, in this band. And 2 amazing guitar players, but so many great songs in here. And again, I wish I could remember everything. I know Nick will talk about maybe the best discovery ever is the Neil Young song on here, "Out of My Mind."
Oh, I love "Out of My Mind." That's such a great song. Out of my mind, I just can't take it anymore.
Oh, it is so good. I can't believe how good the song is, and no one will talk about it probably because it wasn't a radio hit, and it is. This is my second favorite Buffalo Springfield song, the second on the album, but it could easily be number 1. It's so good. It's one I have heavy. It's a heavy song on my playlist that I listen to constantly ever since I heard the album. But there's some other good stuff on here. I love the song that Richie Furay sings. That's "Go right out and say it. You look so fine." Whatever. I think it's something like that. And
I love that song. Do I have to come and say, girl, that you look so fine? Oh, great harmonies too.
Great,
yeah,
great.
So fine.
I love that song a lot. And do you remember the other ones, Nick? I can't remember.
I like Nowadays Clancy Can't Even Sing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great one. My thoughts on each song. I love of course, the first song is great. Great song. Go and Say Goodbye.
That's a good one.
Don't say goodbye. Oh, love that song. Sit down, I think I love you.
Sit down.
Oh,
so good.
Another great song.
Yeah.
Scott said Nowadays Clancy Can't Even Sing. Great Neil Diamond written song. Hot Dusty Road, pretty good. Everyone's Wrong is great. Flying on the Ground is wrong.
That's so good.
Flying on the ground is wrong. I'm sorry to let you down.
I'm gonna have to listen to this album again. It's been a while.
It's great. Burned. I love Burned.
Burn. I remember that just because Neil Young goes.
It's Neil Young.
That's him actually singing.
He actually sings. Yeah.
Been burned. That's the one that I'm like, is this Mike Nesbitt singing? I'm like, dang, Mike Nesbitt. Pretty great stuff. But yeah, overall, amazing album.
Yeah. Because Stephen Stills is so good on his stuff, and then Neil Young. And then Furay doesn't write any songs, but he's still a good singer. And I love when you have 3 guys that can lead sing, and I love when you have 3 guys in a band. I've said this before, but that can lead sing. I don't know. I love those style bands, and not that Queen is great because you mainly just have one singer, though. I mean, Brian May, I suppose, could sing too, and the drummer. But I don't know, when you got bands like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and the Association, and I'm sure there's many other ones. Fleetwood Mac. I don't know. I love when you have multiple singer songwriters in a band and they sound so good together. It's like But yeah, this is like I said, it's one of the best folk rock kind of albums that if you like the '60s period, it's got to be on your list, or it's got to be in your record collection.
What I said is true. I do have 2 copies of it.
I said you have it, right? Okay, I was thinking you have it. Yeah, I have it on CD, I believe, in a box somewhere. Yeah, I think we had the second one in our list too. That was high. That was lower on our list. So the first 2 albums, really good albums. Unfortunately, that's about all you can say. But then you get Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young later on. So
yeah, fair trade.
Fair trade. But yeah, so it's so cool to have Buffalo Springfield make it this high on the list. In fact, it's too bad we don't have like a really high association song because me and Nick are big association.
I bought their first album. It was $3. I played it. I don't remember a thing on that album other than was it Along Comes Mary or something like that?
Yep.
I don't know. I can't remember a thing on that album. I thought it was so boring. Sorry, but
I know. Me and Nick love. It's like me and Nick like kind of like. I don't know if we discovered
how many groups of the mid to late '60s.
Like I feel like we both fell in love with Buffalo Springfield and like the Association around the same time or something.
Yeah, I remember you're like, the Association. I'm like, heck yeah, I do. I initially just knew the first 4 albums, and then we both dived out after the first 4. You knew the first 2 albums. I knew the first 4 albums.
Yeah.
I was so happy to have you discover those last of the first 4 albums.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah,
I feel like the Mamas and the Papas are a much better harmony group.
They're good.
Oh,
too.
I love the Mamas and Papas. I can't wait to I can't wait to. If anyone ever wants to do a series on them, I would love to do them because I know I did one with Breyer, but I would love to do a read.
I did with Breyer, that's right.
I'd be up for that. I actually haven't ever listened to their first album, which is one of the big albums of the '60s, if you can believe your eyes and ears.
Yeah.
I mean, I know California Dreaming is on there, but
yeah,
I'm excited to hear the rest of it. I heard their second album. Their second album's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I love this. Their first 2 albums to me is them at their peak. Third album's okay, and yeah, I like the 4th album more, but yeah, those first 2 albums though, really good stuff.
All right, so that's the end of our list. We went through 35 through 21, so now we got 20 albums to talk about. Maybe doing 2 more parts or something like that because we'll have a lot to say about these albums coming up, I'm sure. I'll just say we got some Beatles coming up, we got some Beach Boys coming up, we got some Led Zeppelin coming up, and we got some Queen coming up, and some Who. So,
how about some Queen? You know that.
Lots of good stuff. It's funny, Queen. It's like, well, we've mentioned some Queen albums already, but it's like we're not going to really talk about Queen until we get to like the top 20. That's when you get a bunch of.
That's the one consistent is everybody in our group loves Queen.
Yeah, it's like the one group all 4 of us could agree on.
Well, it's like some bands, like their albums are spread out amongst the top 100, but the Queen, it's like all their albums are like the top 20, like their best albums. So it's all kind of all together because it's like there's a couple albums that we all agree are like so good that's why it's up there. But anyways.
Oh yeah, I'm like Not at the Opera, Day at the Races, News of the World, like those ones.
Like there's certain albums like 2 of us will really like the album, 2 of us don't care about it, whatever. And then you get to Queen, it's like all 4 of us like the album. So it's up there high. But anyways, so thanks so much. I really enjoy. I can't tell you how much I enjoy talking about music with you guys. And
me too.
We talk about these albums so many times, and we still talk about these albums. Like
I know. Sometimes I'll just be like, "Go watch the video But I still love talking about. I still love talking about them. It's just sometimes I feel like when there's a lot of albums to talk about, it's like for the sake of time, go watch the video.
But I feel like I learned. I mean, just talking about it, you kind of learn more by hearing other people's opinions, and you're like, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And then I don't know. So it's interesting learning more about each album or band or whatever, and people's thoughts and all that. So that was a great discussion anyway. So thanks so much to Scott and Nick for joining me on this, and hope you guys join me again next time. And I wish I could get Briar on here. That would be my dream if I get Jacob or somebody also to join. Adam
for the top 10,
because it's like early in the morning for Adam, but
yeah, to do it in the afternoon.
See if we can get Briar on here for the top 10.
I would love that if I can get his opinion on these albums too. It'd be so fun. But besides that, thanks so much to no one commented, nobody was watching. So if this is just for my enjoyment, I guess that's okay. But I hope anybody watches this enjoyed what we discussed anyways, and agree hopefully with some of the stuff we said and some of these albums, hopefully you agree with. And I would love anybody who's watching this to comment that you were watching at least a little bit of it. But besides that, have a great rest of the weekend. I guess we're on the weekend now, so we will see you next week. Bye.